Hi, everyone. This is Heather Pratt, and I chose to read Tattoos on the Heart: The Power of Boundless Compassion by Father Gregory Boyle. When I selected this book, I knew it would be full of life stories of people on the margins that might help me see the world in different ways. I did not expect to find pieces of myself in those stories, to laugh so often, to get a glimpse of just how powerful and life-changing God's love can be in our broken world, and to find myself in awe of the man allowing God to work through him, the author of the book. In Tattoos on the Heart, which was published in 2010, Father Gregory tells real-life parables spanning the more than 2 decades he's been immersed in the gang culture in Los Angeles. Through these parables, Boyle argues that these lives that have in many ways been discarded and overlooked can be changed when people are seen as a child of God, loved as unconditionally as possible, and provided with a job. Father Boyle is quick to point out that this is heartbreaking work. He can only reach a percentage of the gang members, and there's a lot of grief that accompanies seeing people who've created a new life for themselves end up murdered anyway because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yet woven throughout these heartbreaking stories, we also see many examples of joy, laughter, and wisdom to be gained by spending our time working with and for the poor and forgotten among us. The children in Los Angeles who join a gang did not receive unconditional love at home, are carrying deep emotional pain and trauma, and have built protective walls around themselves to avoid further pain. The love, respect, and no BS attitude of Father Boyle cuts through all their pretenses and offers a sign of hope and encouragement that allows the young men and women to start to see themselves in a new light as beloved children of God. In this book, we get a glimpse into how the love of God combined with mentorship can heal inner wounds and give people a second chance at living a hope-filled life. Throughout these stories, we also learn about the posture which Father Boyle takes when sharing his life with these men and women, combining respect, a sense of humor, a lot of empathy, and a healthy dose of courage. Knowing this work is not about him, he's given away the many awards he's received to the people who've changed their lives because he wants them to give the acceptance speeches and hear the applause. He wants them with him at the restaurants, TV interviews, and White House visits to share their stories about how they're now gainfully employed, in some cases doing what they've always dreamed of, like working on cars or in computers or in a veterinarian's office. If there was a modern day Gehenna in our country, one could argue it's located at the hub of gang culture in LA. And yet, Father Boyle is there, shining a light and offering hope. This is a powerful book and so beautiful. I'm going to conclude with one quote that captures the incomprehensible love of God that Father Boyle experienced and tried to help others experience too. God, I guess, is more expansive than every image we think rhymes with God. How much greater is the God we have than the one we think we have? More than anything else, the truth of God seems to be about a joy that's a foreigner to disappointment and disapproval. This joy just doesn't know what we're talking about when we focus on the restriction of not measuring up. This joy, God's joy, is like a bunch of women lined up in the parish hall on your birthday, wanting only to dance with you cheek to cheek. The God who is greater than God has only one thing on her mind, and that is to drop endlessly rose petals on our heads. Behold the one who can't take his eyes off you. Marinate in the vastness of that.